guys, today we want to give you an update on why we chose to hire a private trainer for dogs and what were the problems, how did we deal with them, and what is our final result working with her. In general, my parents are very happy with raising me and also with my training, and everything is going smoothly 90% of the time or so. But there are some parts that are more difficult for me as a puppy and also for my parents. So that's why we decided to hire a dog trainer and have a private lesson with her, because especially with me being alone in a room or also alone at home, it's still very difficult for me, as we've already told you in my past videos. And it has become more and more clear since I was staying with the parents of my mom for 2 nights, because my parents went on a little vacation on a Christmas gift, so I couldn't come along and I stayed with my mom's parents. And the parents of my mom have a dog as well, and she's a little bit older than 1 year, so still also a young dog. And there my parents also went with her to one dog trainer. And actually, she's not really a dog trainer, but she calls herself an interpreter between human and dogs. And she definitely already recognized that I have a problem with staying alone and with attachment and with anxiety, separation anxiety. So my parents decided to deal with it now, since I'm 6 months old now, and we have the possibility that now it's gonna get a lot better if we tackle the problem now rather than wait through puberty and when I get more self-confident and everything. So we decided to go ahead with that now. So we contacted the dog interpreter, or dog trainer kind of, and we went with her into a dog forest, which is kind of a fenced-in area. And she is also a dog walker. So she takes 10 to 15 dogs with her in that fenced-in area. And it's a huge forest, and we were there for 2 hours. And she thought it would be such a good idea, because then she could also explain my behavior in the group with the other dogs to my parents, and we could kind of go into different training situations and have a talk. And she didn't come to us at home, because she said that mainly if something is wrong in the behavior with the dog, it's mainly the humans that act wrong and not the dog. It's 80% human, 20% dog, which we found was very interesting. And to be honest, my parents said that the whole talking and the whole situation with me and the other dogs in the forest and with our dog trainer, it was so eye-opening, because my parents basically interpreted the situation and my behavior completely wrong and different than what the professional dog trainer said. Because basically, to recap, our problems are that I cannot stay alone in a room. It's very difficult for me to stay calm when my mom, for example, leaves the room, to just grab a glass of water even if she returns. And what we also realized is that it's way worse when my mom, for example, leaves than in comparison to my dad. And I always just want to sleep next to them, or on their bed, or on their legs or their arms or their tummy, depending on how they sit or lie down. And that's how we really realized our problems, and we were so transparent to the dog trainer and really communicated all of that. And my mom really thought that I couldn't stay home alone, or alone in a room, because I feel like I need her. So our interpretation of the game was, I need her, so I feel like I can't stay alone, because then I panic, because what if she doesn't return? But actually, the interpretation of the dog trainer was that I, as a dog, feel like my mommy can't be without her because of her behavior, because of how she acts towards me, how much she loves me, how much she pets me, how much she is dependent on me, that I feel like I can't leave her alone because my mommy cannot live without me anymore. And that was so eye-opening because now that we look back on my mom's behavior, we really see that that is the case, that she makes me feel like, oh my gosh, how is she gonna go through life without me, you know? And that's why now my mom really needs to work on her behavior. My dad as well, a little bit, but not as much. And then also, if they work on their behavior, my behavior is gonna change, and then we get an improvement of the whole situation. So of course, this is just our experience, and it's not like we can generalize this to dogs who have problems with staying home alone or alone in a room, but that's just our experience and our interpretation of the whole situation. And to us, it makes so much sense, and we already incorporated some of the info that we got from our dog interpreter or dog trainer, and we've already seen results, which is great because for me as a puppy, it's also nice if I can relax and calm down when my parents leave the room and I don't have to be like anxious and be able to take care of them. And for my parents, it's also nice because we are gonna introduce more and more calmness into our world and like more being just okay with the situation, how it is. So that was a brief update about why we chose to hire a personal private dog trainer. And it has been so eye-opening for us and such a good situation. And we cannot wait to see how everything's gonna improve if we keep on working with the homework that our dog trainer gave us. And to give you a brief update about the homework that we got, the most important thing is that my mom gets more independent from me and that she gets more distanced. And even though that sounds so harsh and so difficult, it's the best thing that she can do for the both of us. So the most important thing is that she ignores me more and more and is more distant towards me and has more like a neutral energy towards me and not this super loving, superly involved, superly being so dependent and attached to me. So she needs to be more distant because I also need to see her as like the leader of our family, the leader of our pack, same as with my dad, of course, but I definitely respect him more than I respect my mom. So in order for me to take her more seriously, she needs to be more independent and more distant because that's also the normal behavior if I would stay with other dogs. So the most important thing is that I'm not allowed to sleep on her lap anymore when she's working, for example, because that means that I am taking control of her because she cannot move when I'm on her lap. So I take control over her when I do that. So I'm not allowed to do that anymore. And then also we need to work on my mom leaving and I need to stay calm. And we're going to do that with food because I react so well to food. And I'm also not allowed to sleep on the sofa or the bed anymore alone. So when my parents are not on the sofa or the bed, I'm not allowed to be on it either. And just things like that. And we're definitely going to incorporate that more and more. And then we're going to definitely also do an update on our changes. So subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss that, how my journey is going to develop, how I'm going to develop. And then we will see each other in the next video, and I'm looking forward to that. Bye bye.